Committee on Justice and Human Rights, this meeting is now in order, and I will ask Senator Lacson to convene his own committee.
On the part of the Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs, this hearing is hereby called to order.
Thank you, Ms. We call to order the hearing today on the Committee on Justice and Human Rights jointly with the Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs after having suspended the hearing last 22nd September. This is a continuation of the resolutions and the privileged speeches made by several senators. There's a Senate Resolution number 9 by Senator Leila de Lima concerning the recent and rampant killings, extrajudicial killings, and summary executions, and to strengthen accountability of law enforcers. That's the highway upon which we are going to traverse in this investigation. At the same time, we have Senate Resolution number 151 by Senator Antonio Trillanes III on the alleged extrajudicial or summary killings purportedly committed by the Davao Death Squad, and in order to have the protection of people's basic human rights, and also in pursuance of the campaign against terrorism, drugs, and street crimes. Oh, the fourth. I'm sorry. You mean there are 4 of you? I stand corrected. Let the minutes reflect that Senator Antonio Trillanes is the 4th among several Antonio Trillaneses. In as much as I am told by the committee secretariat that, and because of the motion made by Senator Leila de Lima, the Davao police are here. And these are the people that have been mentioned in various occasions by different sources, including the senators and including one witness here. We're happy that they have arrived, and let me just acknowledge some of the personalities here that have arrived, and we thank them. Good morning to everyone. First and foremost, the General De La Rosa, Ronald De La Rosa, and General Eleuterio of IAS, Internal Affairs. Is he here? Yes. And of course, Undersecretary Cui. I'm sorry, I should have acknowledged you first. Civilian authority being supreme over the police and the military. Undersecretary of Local Government, and of course, Director Lapeñas of the Dangerous Drugs Law, Dangerous Drugs Board, and of course, PIDEA. I'm sorry, PIDEA, and Director Dante Gueran at the National Bureau of Investigation, Director. We also have Police Chief Superintendent Manuel Garlan of Davao, and of course, thank you again to Chief Superintendent Marquez, Augusto Marquez Jr., and also Bartolome Ricardo, Superintendent Bartolome Ricardo of the Philippine Army, and there will be other witnesses that will come over again. But before we call in the witnesses, those of you who have not taken your oaths, will you please stand up so that we can administer the oath? Comsec.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the inquiry? You may sit down.
Thank you. Let it be reflected that Colonel Bacardo and Police Chief Superintendent Manuel Garlan have taken their oaths of office. Not only oaths of office, but their oath here. Again, I reiterate the previous rules that we in the committee have agreed upon. There are 2 lecterns here for all the committee members to use upon recognition. The chair will give wide latitude to the questions given. You have 10 minutes to ask your questions, but the answers we will give more than 10 minutes. It will not be counted. The answers will not be counted on your time, so that there is wide latitude. Again, I reiterate that if there is need for reiteration or to emphasize or to tell the whole story, the senator will be given, and I'm sure you have given me wide latitude previously to continue the questions. Let me just do this properly so everybody's on the same page. Having said all that, we want to make sure that the committee respect, and I know that all the senators will act with dignity and with candor and with the utmost discipline, so that we can make a very good account of the Senate investigation. The Senate is a very respected body. I don't think I have to bang the gavel and call anybody to order. If there is any disorder, I will bang the gavel so that we can suspend and we can deliberate in private, so we can handle it correctly, as we do it in the Senate. Should be no sign of emotion or any sign or indication of parliamentary misconduct. Having said that, Mr. President, I would like to call on, I think I saw the chairman, Senator De Lima raise her hand. Senator De Lima, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning to everyone. Just a brief manifestation for the record, for the sake of accuracy, because it was mentioned earlier by the good chair that I was the one, this representation was the one who moved for the issuance of an invitation and or subpoena to the members or the alleged members of the Davao Death Squad, as mentioned by the witness. Based on the transcripts of the September 15, 2016 hearing, which was the first hearing attended by Mr. Edgar Matobato, it was in fact Senator Trillanes who moved for the issuance of an invitation or subpoena. May I just quote? At any rate, I would first move that we subpoena Vice Mayor Paulo Duterte and all the members of the Davao Death Squad, as mentioned by our witness, especially those belonging to the Philippine National Police and the NBI. And I just reiterated that motion during the last hearing of September 22. I just invited the attention of the body as to the invitation as requested by somebody else. So it turns out that it was, in fact, Senator Trillanes and not this representation who asked for such invitation. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, may I also make a manifestation?
Let me just address the manifestation made by Senator De Lima. I think I was very clear that all these witnesses were invited by virtue of the privileged speeches as well, which contain your motions. So I think I will stand by my previous remarks. I also want to make sure that when we call these witnesses, this is also by virtue of the resolution made by Senator Trillanes. Now, on the motion, is that which you say is a reiteration that was never carried last time, because I think there was an objection by Senator Subiri. But let me just point out that the committee will later on talk among each other as to whether we will invite them. In the first place, insofar as the Davao Death Squad, there is no finding yet that the Davao Death Squad exists. There is a lot of talk, and that's why we brought them here, to find out whether in fact there is an existence of a Davao Death Squad. So it is very difficult for the chair, and as well I'm sure with my contrary Senator Lacson to, I hope I am not speaking out of turn, Senator Lacson, to invite the Davao Death Squad, because nobody's going to come up and show up just like that. It's not been publicly incorporated in the Securities and Exchange Commission, and there's no effort on the part of anybody to say I'm a member of the Davao Death Squad, and therefore I cannot accede to that second motion unless there is testimony to prove the existence of the Davao Death Squad or admission by any of the witnesses here that such a squad exists and that the following people are members of the Davao Death Squad. Of course, all these statements would have to stand the scrutiny of investigation by the senators before we act. We act with judiciousness here and consideration for the rights of everybody, and we act in the interest of truth. So having said that, I now recognize Senator Cayetano. Go ahead, Senator
Thank
Cayetano.
you, Mr. Chairman, at magandang umaga po sa atin lahat. Sir Chairman, you actually already stated what I wanted to manifest, that we are inviting people who have been mentioned. It is the tradition of the Senate that they can defend themselves here. It is the tradition of the Senate that in accordance with the Constitution, a person can confront his accusers. But to call them as members of the Davao Death Squad would be having an unfair conclusion at this time. So Colonel Dionisio Abude, retired of the Heinous Crime Division, SPO3 Las Cañas, who Mr. Matubato continually referred to, PO3 Ayaw and PO3 Jumawan, and others are here today because they were named and invited. If need so, Mr. Chairman, I'm willing to present them, not to attest to the truth of their testimony, but to give them a chance to refute the testimony, to refute or to accede to meaning to confirm or deny the testimony of Mr. Matubato. And lastly, Mr. President, as I have mentioned at the start of the hearing, the Duterte administration campaign against drug is not a campaign to kill people indiscriminately, not to get rid of criminals extrajudicially, but is a campaign to save the nation and save the generations from drugs. And these policemen will be able to testify how it was done in Davao. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Senator Lacson.
Would it be proper and correct to refer to them as members of the Heinous Crime Division? And I'd like to address that to Senator Cayetano or to Chief Superintendent Gerlan, who's the Director of Police Regional Office 11. Would it be the correct and proper nomenclature, if I may say so?
Your Honor, they are not all members of the Heinous Crimes Division, so we can refer them maybe as former members of Police Regional Office 11 in general.
Thank you.
You say former members. That means to say that they have either retired or have been reassigned to other duties
Yes, Your Honor.
outside
Sir.
of Davao City.
If I may give an accounting of the 23 invited, 22 are actually named because one has a double entry. Out of the 22, 12 are still in the active service, and 10 of these are still with the Police Regional Office 11. One is with the PSPG, and one is with the Aviation Security Group, and 10 have already retired, Your Honor.
So, in effect, how many are going to be presented here today?
We have 16 present, including 4 of the retired personnel, sir.
So 4 have retired, and of the 12, they are still in Davao or have been reassigned elsewhere?
10 out of the 12 still in the active service are in Davao, but they are present today, sir.
Thank you. All right, so that is very clear. These are policemen that have been assigned in various occasions, either in the Heinous Crimes Division or in other positions, and some of them have retired and some of them are still on duty, not necessarily with the Heinous Crimes Division. Having said that, in response to Senator Cayetano, I will give him the proper time, not necessarily as a presenter of the witness. In fact, one of the things that was worrying both Senator Lacson and myself, sino ba ang magpipresenta sa witness dito? Because ang nag-imbita ay sila Senator De Lima. Hindi naman nag-imbita. Ang reference namin ay yung motion at saka yung privilege speech. Kaya kung hindi nila gagawin yun, I suppose kailangan isalang natin ang testigo at magtatanong tayong lahat ngayong araw na ito. At kung makakatulong si Senator Cayetano, kung gusto niyang mag-clarify or he may have some information that we don't have, I will give him wide latitude. Okay? Having said that, we shall now proceed to the hearing per se. I want to remind the COMSEC, because I asked him earlier that there were requests for pending documents, pending requests for documents. I want to know from him if those documents have all been submitted.
Yes, sir.
Can you please go to the microphone? But I would want to have a senator say, we requested and that they were ignored.
Yes, sir. These documents have been submitted already. We have marked the documents annexes A to L.
All right, and these documents are available for every senator
Yes,
to produce,
for-
and they will be distributed accordingly. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And they have not been distributed right now.
Yet. Sir,
Now,
we're,
what is yes?
sir, we're working on.
What is
of the
yes?
address-
Have you distributed them or not?
Not yet. We're depending on the requests of the senators, sir, because we have problems with the manpower and the facilities.
I
and the
don't think we
equipment.
have problems with the manpower. It's just a question of your execution of this. The Senate President has given me latitude to, for you to ask other members of other employees here in the Senate for you to be assisted, because I raised that point, because there are voluminous documents. So please make do.
Yes,
Lead.
sir. Yes, sir. We'll do that.
All right, thank you. I will expect that in fairness to the senators, that they all are given the necessary documents that have been asked for, so that they can produce and study them and be the basis for questions and judgment. Having said that, we shall call our witnesses now. Is that okay with everybody? Are there any questions? Who shall we call first? Senator Cayetano, I heard you say a certain colonel in charge of the Heinous Crime Division. Or maybe I should ask Chief Superintendent Garland.
Sir, may we request that former Senior Superintendent Abude be the first to present?
Chief Superintendent Apulit,
Police Senior Superintendent Abude, sir.
active duty,
Retired already, sir.
retired. Abude, A-B-U-D-E. In Bisaya, it used to be Abode. It became Abude.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Abude. Committee Sec, please call the witness here and should they sit up front here. You'll notice while we're waiting for him that we place a special podium for the special table for the witness, so that nobody can say that he's being coached. Colonel Abude? Sergeant at Arms? I would require that a lawyer be provided him. If he has brought a lawyer, that would be appreciated if he would he would present himself. And
Mr. Chairman,
yes, Senator Trillanes, while we're waiting.
based on the agreement last hearing, the witness, Mr. Edgar Matobato, was supposed to identify the other officers.
We will come to that. We're not at that moment. If you will recall, there was no agreement. I merely said I did not dismiss him. Precisely, I did not dismiss him just in case we will lead him. When the proper time comes, if you request, after testimony has been made, that would be more timely than now.
Well, if we're going to introduce these officers one by one, then that would preempt the whole thing, Mr. Chairman.
Mr.
I believe
Chairman.
it would be proper for him to identify these officers first, again as another test of credibility. Then we can make them present whatever they want
Mr.
to
Chairman,
present.
I may help.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, before the hearing started, I asked if they have a lawyer, and I asked the lawyer about certain stipulations, and he said they're willing to stipulate that they know Mr. Matubato, and Mr. Matubato knows them. So that will do away with the identification, because they're willing to admit that. But I'd rather they say it themselves once they get there. The request is just that they be given the opportunity to testify freely before they're confronted, just because there were 3 previous hearings wherein their names was continuously battered, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Senator Cayetano. You will recall that both the chairman of these committees talked about an executive session so that they can have a lineup. In fact, I asked Senator Lacson, and he graciously accepted at that time that the witness be there at the lineup. But in fairness to the policemen, we wanted that so that they would not be unnecessarily ridiculed, or their families could be, put to embarrassment. These are people who serve, and as far as I'm concerned, the general rule is that they do their duty. They're given that latitude. So having said that, anyway, all these people have been mentioned. The names that you have invited have been mentioned, and if they have not been mentioned, then you can call the attention of the chair. And if we need to identify let him be identified, then you can chair will entertain a motion at that time.
Okay. Well, Mr. Chairman, anyway, the suggestion came from the chair, and I was just
Wala na yan, wala na.
reminding. Yes, but if now Senator Cayetano is saying that yung mga na-identify ni Mr. Matobato na mga PNP officers ay umaamin na kilala nila si Mr. Matobato, and that would do away with the identification process, and I would be satisfied by that. Pero sinasabi ko lang, Mr. Chairman, na when this idea was proposed, it was supposed to be a test of the credibility of Mr. Matobato. Ngayon, kung inaamin na ng mga police mismo, we should be fair enough to say na nagsasabi ng totoo si Mr. Matobato, Mr. Chairman.
Please do not put the cart before the horse.
Well, no, at least as far as the identification
the chair
of
would like to request Senator Trillanes not to make conclusions because that's why we have an investigation here.
But there is a stipulation, Mr. Chairman, at least as far as the identification of the officers are
In
concerned.
point of law, when a stipulation is made, that is to save time.
Yes.
It is not supposed to prove the case.
No. I was not talking about the case, Mr. Chairman. I was talking about the identification. Kasi sinasabi yon na papuntahin natin yung mga police para po ma-identify as a test of credibility.
Well,
Ngayon kung inaamin na, then we should also be man enough to say that as far as that is concerned, then nagsasabi ng totoo si Mr. Matobato.
I will cut this conversation right away. There is no need for it. The proper time to ask the witness is that, are you the same person referred to by Mr. Matobato? And I will suggest that you ask that question, and I will give you that right to do so. Pag humarap yung testigo dyan, tanay mo, ikaw ba yung sinasabi ni Matobato? Pag sinabi niyang oo, it doesn't prove anything except that the man exists. Tandaan natin, Davao yan. Makakakilala lahat yan. Kilala ng mga pulis yung mga hoodlum, kilala nila yung mga testigo. Nag-marry naman ako, kaya alam ko yung sinasabi ko rito. So give me some latitude. Proceed, please. Is the witness here already? Would you please ask him to move forward? Are you migrating here, Colonel? You have a backpack. Would you please give your bag to Senator Trillanes so he can investigate it? No, thank you. No, just kidding. Just kidding. We don't want to be bombed here. All right. Let the chair ask. Please identify yourself.
Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, I am retired Police Superintendent Junicio Abode, 59 years old. I was appointed as patrolman in 1983 and retired from the PNP service in February 2013.
Yes. All right. Will you please stand up so we can administer the oath to you? Comsec.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly refer to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this inquiry? Take your seat, please.
Thank you very much. The witness is requested to answer the questions forthrightly, and the senators are requested to ask their questions as fast as we can.
Sir,
You have
I'd like
a...
to make some few statements, sir. Mr. Chairman.
Just one more thing. You are accompanied by a lawyer, the gentleman over there, the intelligent-looking man over there. Is,
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Could you please identify yourself?
May it please this
Excuse me?
Honorable August Body. I am Attorney Heraclio Malaki III, Your Honor, of Davao City. Heraclio Malaki III po.
So, Malaki?
Yes, sir.
As in big?
Yes, sir.
Spelled with K-I or Q-U-I?
KI po.
K-I, alright. Malaki talaga. Alright. Dako. Alright?
Yes, sir.
Paragul. Alright. I just want to be sure. You are instructed that you can confide to the witness, but you cannot directly address the Senate
Yes, Your Honor.
unless we ask you to.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Please proceed. The chair will now allow, papagbigyan po natin ng testigo, nabigay siya ng preliminary statement because mahirap naman po magtanong tayo dito nang hindi natin alam kung ano sinabi niya. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honors, Mr. Chairman. Your Honors, Mr. Chairman, I am here because I want to clear two issues. That's why I am invited here. That concern most of my persons as member of the PNP before. It concern also to my family and relatives, friends, neighbors, and most especially the civic organization who adjudged me as Pinoy Hero in 2012 and as an awardee of Leaders and Achievers of Davao. Your Honors, Mr. Chairman, before I explain the two issues why I am invited here, allow me to show a audio-visual presentation prepared by the Cobra Pinoy Hero, energy drink, when I was a judge as Pinoy Hero in 2012. If I may be allowed, Your Honor.
Please proceed with dispatch. Hindi lang tayo masyadong maraming oras at kaya pagbilisan lang po ninyo. Go ahead po.
Yes, sir. Please.
Meron po kayong PowerPoint.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Pursuant to our rules now, the PowerPoint will belong to the Senate so that will be part of the record as suggested by the Majority Floor Leader whom I've asked to be at the center table, being an officer of the Senate. Go ahead.
Ang pagiging bayani, madalas hindi sadya.
Bilang Police Superintendent at dating VP ng Kalinan, crimes against property, ang talagang tinutunan namin ang pansin. Pero nang malaman ko, ang madalas na suspect ay kabataan, naisip ko, mali yun.
Nagmumula sa kagustuang baguhin ang hindi tama.
Nakipag-ugnayan ako sa mga barangay captain kung saan nakatira yung mga batang sangkot sa krimen. Inisa-isa ko ang mga bahay nila. Kinausap ng masinsinan ang mga magulang at di ako nabigo. Pumayag silang ipasok ang mga anak nila sa youth camp nang matuluan ng magulang.
Pinupustahan ang matinding paniniwala.
Dati po, dahil sa hirap, natuto ko magnakaw. At buti na lang, nandyan sila buti. Pinapakop niya po ako. Tapos, natutunan ko ang disiplina, pinag-aral niyo po.
52 minors, 52 na pangalan kasama ang mga rugby boys. Nakumbinsi ko ang mga magulang nila na malagang magbago at masaayos ang buhay ng kanilang mga anak.
Ang pagiging bayani, bunga ng tiyaga at pagpupursige.
Mayroon din kaming tree planting at next phase ng pagtuturo sa kanila ng skills na sa ngayon ay tayak na sa pista. Mayroon kaming lessons sa response unit, first aid at Bible stories. Nang lumipat ako ng istasyon dito sa Talomo, ganun muli ang ginawa ko. Tinanong ko ang mga bata kung gusto nilang mag-aral, magbagong buhay.
Pagharap ko talaga po, hindi pulis. Kaya gulat na sa rupunin. Tulong sa
Excuse me, Colonel, gaano ba kahaba ito?
I think 7 minutes for only, sir.
7 minutes. Sige. Tanggalin lang natin yung commercial ng
Upang
Cobra.
laban para sa mga nangangailangan ng kakampi.
Ang mga bata dapat binibigyan ng pagkakataon. Hindi sila dapat hinahayaang malugmok sa kasamaan. Dahil may pagkakataon silang maging huwaran ng mga mamamayan, lalo na't maaga pa habang bata pa sila. Sabi ko kung nagugutom sila, pumunta sila sa presinto. Pagkakainin namin silang mga bata, imbis na mag-rugby sila, pangpalipas ng gutom. Naghahanap kami ng sponsor ng kakatulong para tuluyang talikuran ng mga bata ang masamang nagawa nila dati nadala na rin sa pindi ng kahirapan at para magkaroon sila ng magandang kinabukasan. Ako, bago naging pulis, nag-security guard ako. Hinahanan ko lahat, pinagsikapan ko kung ano man ang narating ko ngayon. Malaking karangalan na pansin ng Cobra ang aming kwento. Masaya kong nakikita nagbabago ang mga bata. Yung pwede pala silang maging modelo ng iba pang kabataan. May concern ako sa kanila, kaya talagang binibigyan ko ng oras itong gawain namin. Ito ang aking tunay na lakas, ang makatulong sa kabataan.
Si Kapitan Dionisio Abude, pulis, ama, bagong bayan, Pilipinong may tunay na lakas.
Ito ang kwentong tungkol ko.
Let me, pwede naman pigilin?
Okay, sir. Tapos na, sir.
Because sisingilin ka na namin ng advertising dito. That we are on national TV, so I hope you did not come here to advertise Cobra.
No, sir.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Sir, Mr. Chairman, Your Honors, the first issue that I would like to explain that according to Edgar Matubato, the heinous crime was organized to kill people. Or the heinous crime was organized for the police of the former Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte, now our President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Excuse me po, kung mas komportable po kayo magsalita ng Tagalog o Pilipino, mas maganda po. Feel free po. Kung saan po kayo komportable.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sir, ang heinous crime ay inactivate ng Davao City Police Office under the control and supervision of the Chief of the Investigation Division. At saka, noong 2002 ay hindi pa ako asahin ng heinous crime. According to Edgar Matubato, that yung meeting ay ginawa rin doon sa loob ng heinous crime in my presence. Yun ang dalawang issue na gusto kong i-explain, Mr. Chairman. First, I have here the accomplishment of heinous crime when I was the chief. When I was designated as the chief of that heinous crime investigation section. The activation was effective on August 24, 2001. And there is a mission and function of that activation. And I was assigned as chief of that heinous crime on January 15, 2003 until March 8, 2006. With that period, Mr. Chairman, Your Honor, to sum up, only 1 year accomplishment because this is only the records that I retrieved from my personal files. We conducted search warrant operation 18 times and we conducted entrapment operation 12 times and apprehended 36 personality. To sum up, also to add with the Drug Enforcement Unit, because I was the concurrent chief of the Drug Enforcement Unit during the time, we also apprehended 9 suspects. A total of 19 arrested persons, including wanted persons. That is the other accomplishment of the heinous crime, totaling with a total of 69 apprehended suspects within 1 year only, Your Honor. To further explain that the heinous crime was created just to kill people, I have here, Your Honors, Mr. Chairman, a copy or a news clippings dated April 24, 2014, when a certain Mike Umpa delivered the shabu from Manila on board Cebu Pacific to Davao City. I apprehended this in bypass operation, and the first hour in our office, he tried to kill himself. Luckily, we saved him. I am saying this, Mr. Chairman, Your Honors, because in contrary to the allegation of Mr. Matubato that the heinous crime was activated to kill people, why we saved Mike Mahmoud Umpa, and he is now sentenced to life sentence. Life sentence, Your Honor, and he is now in Dapicol. Another example, Your Honor, even the neighbors of our very own President Rodrigo Duterte was apprehended.
Sandali lang po. Sinabi niyo si Mahmoud nasa life imprisonment? Naka-detain? Yung ba sinabi?
Yes, sir. Mike Umpa Mahmoud.
Iba yun doon kay Juan.
Ima yung sinasabi na nandun ako, sir, sa hearing
Mahmoud.
before, allegedly before the disappearance or before the abduction of Macdum.
Sorry po, sorry.
That is the second issue that I am going to explain, that according to Edgar Matubato, that I was present at the heinous crime investigation section. I deny that, Your Honor, because I was not there and I was not yet assigned in that office. Another thing, Your Honor, we had a shootout that my companion was hit in his right ear, and during the exchange of fire, Alimon, the suspect of snatching, was hit 5 times, and yet we brought him to the hospital. This is again to show that we are not into killing, Mrs. Herman, Your Honor, but we are there to conduct investigation, follow-up cases, conduct surveillance, and if had an opportunity to implement the warrant of arrest of those wanted persons. One more, Mr. Chairman, Your Honors, another thing. There was an incident, massacre, wherein 4 victims died and 3 injured, including one Japanese national. And we apprehended the suspect in General Santos City in 30 hours span after the occurrence of the incident. And yet, this minor was properly investigated, and even one was out because he's away, who was a minor. One is 21 years old. So these are the accomplishment of the heinous crime. We conduct investigation and not to kill people, Mr. Chairman, Your Honors. That's all, Mr. Chairman, Your Honors, because I already explained the 2 issues, that the heinous crime was activated to kill people, and the heinous crime, and I was present during the meeting at said office in 2002.
Sinasabi niyo hindi pa kayo member ng grupo na yan?
Yes.
Noon dinala si Macdum ba? Si Said? Si Sally Macdum?
Not. Ang issue sa akin, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, is that during the meeting, I was present at the heinous crime.
Opo.
If ever there is a meeting conducted, since it was not corroborated statement of Edgar Matubato.
But you were already head na kayo nung...
No, sir.
Not yet.
Because I was assigned as designated.
Member ba kayo noon?
Hindi, sir.
So sinasabi niyo wala kayo noon dinala si Sally Macdum doon?
Wala akong alam, sir.
Okay.
Yung sinasabi din niya ng meeting.
Alright. Thank you. Chair opens it for interpellation.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
just to clarify, page
Senator
71 of the transcript dated September 20, 2016, ito yung sinasabi niya na he was mentioned by Mr. Matubato as being present when during the time that Sally Macdum was abducted, hindi ba? Ito yung tinanong siya kasi, kinsa man ang kaistoryahan mo sa heinous crime? Mr. Matubato, tanong ni Senator Cayetano yon. Ang sagot ni Mr. Matubato, si Arthur Las Cañas, si Colonel Abode, referring to you. Si Jim Tan, si Porog, si Medina, si Ubalis. And this happened, according to Mr. Matubato, in 2002. And you were telling us during your preliminary statement that you were assigned as chief of that division only in January of 2003. So it could not be possible that you were present as alleged by Matubato. Is that correct? Tama po ba yon?
Pardon, sir, pardon.
Ina-allege ni Matubato that na present kayo noong tiyempo na inabduct si Sally Macdum. Ang sinasabi niya rin, nangyari yung pag-abduct 2002. Pero kayo po na-assign doon sa Heinous Crime Division January of 2003 as per your preliminary statement. Tama
Yes,
po ba
Your
yun?
Honor.
So it could not be possible that you were present as alleged by Mr. Matubato.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Not necessarily. Hindi ka man member nung grupo na yon. Ikaw ba naandoon? Pulis ka na nung araw. Hindi ba posibleng naandoon ka nung panahon na yan?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Anong yes?
I was already a policeman at
You're already a
that time.
policeman. Pero hindi ba posible nung nangyari yung confrontation na yun, sa meeting na yun, naandun kayo? Kahit na hindi kayo hepe o kaya hindi kayo member nung tinatawag na heinous crime?
Imposible yan, sir, dahil nandun ako, I was assigned as the Chief of the Drug Enforcement Unit in 2002. And at the same time, before I was assigned as Drug Enforcement Unit, I was also assigned at the NACTAP, the National Anti-Kidnapping Task Force, because I was requested the Chief of the NACTAP before, I was requested to be assigned there.
So wala talaga kayo doon? Malayo kayo doon nung nangyari yan?
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr.
Pero
Chairman.
nasa Davao din kayo. Assigned kayo sa NACTAF, but detailed do sa Davao.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Also in Davao City.
Yes, Your Honor.
Nasa pareho ba yung building na pinaglalagyan ng NACTAP at saka yung opisina yan ng
Heinous crime?
heinous crime?
Hindi, sir. Malayo, sir.
Malayo. Iba ang building nun?
Iba, sir.
Iba ang lugar nun?
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry?
Malayo, sir.
Opo. Thank you. Thank you po. Sige. Questions?
Follow up na lang, Mr. Chairman. Where were you exactly at the time? Noong sinasabi ni Mr. Batubato. Of course, wala namang...
I was, there is no date. I was the chief of the Drug Enforcement Unit and at the same time detail at the NACTAP. I have my order.
Do you have a diary?
No, sir. I compile all my...
Yeah. Oh, you're assigned. Wala kang logbook?
Mayroon, sir. As an investigator before, I have all my pocket notes, investigator's note. But all my appointment and orders where I was assigned, I have my copy, sir.
What you were saying, you had no business staying in the office of the Heinous Crime Division because you were assigned somewhere else.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, go ahead, Senator Cayetano.
before we open for interpellation, but I will submit to the chair to just a suggestion. The next witness, SPO 3 Las Cañas, his testimony is intimately related to his testimony. You may want to hear him first before we question them both. But I submit, Mr. Chair, if you want to open the interpellation first now.
What is the pleasure of the committee? Huh? We can dispose of him already?
I would suggest, Mr. Chair, that we first ask questions to this resource speaker, or resource person. I would not want to call any
Yes,
of
Your
them as a
Honor. I have
witness.
already opened the floor for questions.
I
If you have any questions.
Because if Senator Alan would insist on that, I have a counter proposal. that all of them should be placed here already. Should be allowed to face Senate, the committee already, so that we can throw questions to any of them.
There is no proposition here. The proposition on the floor is that this is now the period of interpellation. So any senator who wants to interpellate the witness may do so at his or her own pleasure.
Yes.
You're willing
I'm willing
to
to ask questions.
Go ahead, please. You have the floor. Your 10 minutes starts now.
Thank you. So inaamin niyo po na kilala niyo si Edgar Matubato.
Opo, Your Honor.
Bakit niyo po siya kilala?
Nakilala ko siya dahil pinsan siya or cousin, nephew siya ng kasama kong pulis in 1992 sa San Pedro Police Station.
Kilala niyo siya bilang? Sino ho ba si Edgar Matubato sa pagkakilala niyo? Sino ho ba siya? Killer ho ba talaga siya?
Hindi ko alam yan, ma'am.
So paano mo siya kilala?
Kilala ko siya dahil pinsan nga siya ng kasamahan kong pulis in 1992 when I was assigned at San Pedro Police Station.
Madalas niyo ho ba siya nakikita noon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Saan?
Sa pagkasama niya si Police Inspector Matubato at that time, he was a corporal and I was a patrolman.
No. Matubato is a police inspector. No, he's not. Is he a policeman?
I am, yes, Eduardo Matubato. Eduardo Matubato, his cousin.
Si Eduardo Matubato. Hindi po si Edgar Matubato.
Hindi.
Hindi po police Edgar Matubato.
Excuse me. Please tell the committee, sino yung police na kamag-anak ni Matubato?
He retired as Police Senior Inspector,
Sino po yan?
Mr. Chairman.
Ano pangalan po?
Eduardo Matubato or E.D. Matubato.
Yun yung pisan.
Yes,
Pareho
Your
silang pangalan.
Mr. Chairman.
Si Ed...
Edgar yung isa, ito Eduardo. Hindi, inuhuli ko lang. So, yung isa, si Edgardo, si Edgar, si Matubato.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Itong sinasabi mong pulis, si Eduardo.
Eduardo or E.D. Matubato.
ED. Ay, mabutit nagkakaalaman tayo.
Si Edgar Matubato ho mismo, hindi po siya police, di ho ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hindi mo siya kilala bilang killer?
Hindi,
Kasi
Your Honor.
inamin po niya, killer daw po siya.
Hindi ko alam yun, Your Honor.
So hindi mo siguro aaminin na merong Davao Death Squad.
Hindi, Your Honor.
Narinig niyo na ho ba yung Davao Death Squad?
Narinig, Your Honor.
Paano mo naririnig yung tungkol sa Davao Death Squad?
Kasi yung mga media doon, sila ang nagsasabi na death squad. Pag may namamatay sa Davao, sabi nila death squad.
Dati ho kayo sa Civil Security Unit, di ho ba? Civil Security Unit.
Na consultant ako after I retired.
When
Your
did
Honor,
you retire?
In 2013.
But before you retired, you were part of the Civil Security Unit?
No, Your Honor.
Sa heinous crime.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ilang taon ho kayo sa heinous crime?
From January 15, 2013 up to March 8, 2006, Your Honor.
Nung nag-retire kayo, sinabi nyo, consultant po kayo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hanggang ngayon, consultant po kayo.
No, Your Honor.
Kailan po kayo naging consultant?
At
At
3 days,
consultant ng ano? Consultant ni sino? Nino?
3 days after my retirement, I was hired as consultant by Dean, Mayor Inday Sara, and now Mayor Inday Sara in February 11 up to June 30, 2013.
So si Mayor Sara ang nag-appoint sa inyo or bilang consultant?
Yes, Your Honor.
How about si Mayor Rodrigo Duterte, now President Duterte? Siyempre po, kilala po kayo ng husto ni President Duterte.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hindi ho siya ang kumuha o nag-recommend kay Mayor Sara na maging consultant kayo after you retired?
I don't know, Your Honor, because it was Mayor Sara who called me up.
And as consultant of what?
Civil Security Unit, Your Honor.
But you were never part of the Civil Security Unit, as you said.
Only when I was hired, Your Honor.
Hired as consultant
Yes, Your Honor.
because you denied that you were employed or you were connected with Civil Security Unit.
I said when I was as member of the PNP, I was not assigned as civil security unit.
You were never assigned to the civil security unit, but you were hired as a consultant after you retired to that unit or of that civil security unit, right?
As consultant of the mayor, in order for her to represent him in cases there is a
Him
meeting,
or her?
a conference.
Him or her?
Her,
Si Mayor Santo,
her, Your Honor.
sabi nyo, ang nag-hire sa inyo as consultant. Ano ho ba ang civil security unit?
Civil security yun ang yung unit na yan, sila ang take care ng mga buildings, security of the buildings, offices, markets, terminals.
So yung pagka-consultant nyo is specifically what? Hindi naman ho siguro kayo yung tinatawag na general consultant.
As advisor of the mayor,
Advisor on what?
on matters of security matters,
In
Your Honor.
general, security matters. In general, security matters affecting Davao City, I suppose.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that includes criminality.
No, Your Honor. Because civil security unit only concern on the security of the government buildings.
Kanina
And-
ho, ang ganda ng mga accomplishments na pinakita nyo, although you just actually cited some, and I'm sure marami po kayo accomplishments kasi makapal po yung dala-dala nyong dokumento. Ano
Yes,
ho?
Your Honor.
Ang tanong ko po sa inyo ngayon, have you ever been charged with any case, of any case, either administrative or criminal?
And I cannot remember the date of physical injury. I was charged of physical injury.
Ano pa ho?
I was charged administratively for command responsibility.
On what?
On my two personnel who was charged also for alleged involved in drugs.
Alleged involvement in drugs. Kayo po mismo?
No, Your Honor.
So what are you talking about? Command responsibility about the misdeeds ng mga tao niyo po
Yes, Your Honor. Allegedly, they are involved.
in drugs.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kailan po ito?
In 2000, I cannot remember when I was still as the chief of the Heinous Crime. I cannot, either it is 2003, 2004, 2005, or 2006.
Ano po nangyari sa kaso na yon?
All were dismissed and they are, the case was dismissed against all of my personnel and
How about
including
you
me.
mentioned something about command responsibility. So you were charged because of command
Administratively, Your Honor.
Administratively. So saan po final yung kaso?
At first, the law and order in the Davao City Police Office, and again, it was elevated to the Ombudsman.
So ano po nangyari?
And
Na-dismiss
finally,
po
at
ba
the
yung
Ombudsman,
kaso?
it was dismissed.
Dismissed. So absuelto po kayo doon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Meron pa ho bang ibang kaso na you were charged either criminally or administratively?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kailan po yon? Ano pong kaso?
I think it was on 2009 or 2010.
What
I cannot
about-
remember the
Ano
exact.
pong kaso yon?
Allegedly, for not solving the killings of Davao City.
Yes. So you were charged along with several other police officers of Davao by the Ombudsman, and in fact, you were penalized, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were 21 high-ranking officers of the Philippine National Police. And this is from the website, Mr. Chair, of the Office of the Ombudsman, that you, along with 20 high-ranking officers of the Philippine National Police, were penalized with fine lang po, equivalent to 1 month salary because of the unabated killings in Davao City. So you confirmed that.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were fined.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ano ho ba yung sinasabing unabated killings in Davao City in the recent years attributed to the Davao Death Squad? Galing po ito sa Ombudsman. Pinaprint ko po ito. Nasa, ano po nila to? Nasa website, mentioning the Baudet Squad, mentioning the unabated killings. And siguro po, kasi nakasabi nga dito sa issuance na ito ng Office of the Ombudsman, record showed that from 2005 to 2008, the Davao City Police Office registered an unusually high number of unsolved killings. Do you confirm that?
That is the allegation of our case, Your Honor.
And further, in this issuance of the Office of the Ombudsman, it is said the perpetrators of these executions were usually two motorcycle riding gunmen, and the killings were mostly drug-related. The OMB Moleo fact-finding team reported that in 4 years, there were 720 persons murdered. 97 in 2005, 165 in 2006, 199 or 199 in 2007, and 259 in 2008. Tama po ba itong statistics na ito na nalaman, nakuha ng Office of the Ombudsman, Moleo?
Hindi ko alam, ma'am.
Hindi ho ba kasama kayo sa heinous crime section? Pakisabi nga huli sa amin, ano ho bang mga klaseng kaso yung mga inimbestigahan nyo kung meron man nung kayo ay nasa this, whatever it is, this heinous crime section. Napakaganda ng pangalan, heinous crime section. Murder should be heinous crime. There are 727 cases of murder, or 720 persons murdered, according to OMB Moleo fact-finding team, in just 4 years. Did you investigate those?
Your Honor, if may I say, before that, I would like to talk to my lawyer.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, go back to the case. That case I was assigned at, during that period, 2006, I was the station commander of Kalinan Police Station. And all cases that transpired in my jurisdiction was properly investigated. Only, Your Honor, that
So whose cases were this?
every
which you were
occurrence of incident in our area of responsibility, particularly in my area of responsibility, was properly investigated. It turned out only that there is no witnesses that come to the open for us to pursue our investigation. That's why the case is still pending.
And how many cases are these?
I cannot remember, Your Honor.
Would you bother to check your records, and then if you can submit to us what cases or how many cases exactly did you investigate when you were with the heinous crime section? Kasi malinaw yung findings ng OMB Moleo dito. OMB Moleo fact-finding team, in 4 years, 720 persons murdered. So a mere 321 or less than 50% were solved. Sabi po sa dispositive portion or part of the decision of the Ombudsman, from the foregoing figures, it is evident that respondents were remiss in their duty to significantly reduce the number of killings. Also, the same shows that respondents failed to solve a substantial number, if not all, of the killings. You were one of the respondents, so you should know how many cases exactly of killings were there. I rest my case. Thank you so much.
Are you done? Yes. Okay, go ahead. Senator Cayetano is recognized.
So, Chair, I have a few questions for Police Superintendent Abute. Then I have some questions for Chief PNP and for some of the other PNP officials. Sir, relatively ba mas safe? Relatively, hindi ko sinasabing pinaka-safe or walang crime sa Davao. But relatively ba mas safe ang Davao the last few years kaso sa ibang major cities around the country?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ang dahilan ba nito ay pinapatay ang mga kriminal kahit na hindi sila lumalaban?
No, Your Honor. Namamatay yung kriminal dahil lumalaban.
Okay. So, are you saying that mas safe ang Davao dahil ginagawa niyo trabaho niyo?
Yes, Your Honor.
And dahil ang utos ng mayor, kahit gaano kapangyarihan, pag lumaban kayo pabalik.
Yes, Your Honor.
Unlike in other cities, minsan takot lumaban ng pulis dahil may abogado at pera yung kalaban nila.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, ang sinasabi, lahat daw ng abutan nyo sa heinous crime, pinapatay. May pinapakita ka kanina, can you elaborate on that? Sabi mo meron isang pusher?
Yes, Your Honor. Ito si Mike Macmod. Galing siya ng Maynila, sakay siya ng Cebu Pacific. Yung nahuli ko on that night, may search warrant ako. Siya ang nagsabi kung sinong supplier niya. Kaya, pagdating niya sa Davao, sakay siya ng Cebu Pacific, doon namin siya nahuli.
Nahuli
by
siya.
bus operation.
Lumaban ba, sir?
Hindi siya lumaban, Your Honor.
Buhay.
Buhay, Your Honor.
Kung lumaban siya,
Sigurado yun, pag endanger yung life ko, life ng mga personnel ko, ay talagang lalaban din kami.
so ibig sabihin, kaya maraming patay ngayon, and I'll say it in English for the foreign media here. The reason why there are a lot of deaths because of police operation is because a lot of the drug lords engage the police or endanger the life of the police. Correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
But in the Davao example, if they surrender peacefully, you will make sure that their rights are protected.
Yes, Your Honor.
In this case, he even wanted to kill himself.
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, this is in news clippings that I intentionally brought this news clippings for us not to bias this presentation.
So in this case, you even saved his life
yes,
by preventing him from killing
yes,
himself.
Your Honor.
Okay. Senator De Lima brought up the case against you, command responsibility, kasi hindi mo ma-solve yung mga kaso. Honestly, as a policeman, as an officer, do you think unfair na ikaw ang kasuhan dahil hindi na-solve lahat ito?
Yes, Your Honor. That is unfair.
Okay. Then let me shift now to Chief PNP De La Rosa Bato. Sir, sino yung pinalitan mong Chief PNP?
Police Director General Ricardo Marquez, Your Honor.
Anong taon po siya naging Chief PNP?
July 2015, Your Honor, up
Okay.
to...
In July 2015, well, for the whole 2015, under the Aquino administration, 12,481 extrajudicial killings. Kinusuhan ba ng command responsibility si Chief PNP Marquez dahil hindi niya na-solve ang mga ito? To your knowledge?
To my knowledge, Your Honor.
Yes.
No,
In
Your Honor.
2015, the crime clearance efficiency was 27 let me get the percentage later. Saan yung national? Alin yung national? Ito. Akin na yun. In 2015, ang crime, ang CCE, no, clearance efficiency, was 29% nationwide. Sa Davao po, it was 27.85%. So halos pareho lang po ang Davao and nationwide. So yung number of deaths sa buong Pilipinas, 12,481. Hindi lang ito, and let me speak in English so that the foreign media can hear us and we plead with them to be fair. There were 12,481 481 extrajudicial killings in 2015, except that the DOJ and the palace at that time had an executive order limiting the definition of extrajudicial killings. But under the UN definition, the international definition of extrajudicial killings, any killing that is not by death penalty and not natural cause is an extrajudicial killing. Chief PNP ba to? Who was the Chief PNP bago kay General Marquez?
It was General Purisima, Your Honor.
But between him, meron pong acting po, di ba? Si General,
OIC, Ronald
OIC General Espina. Naalala niyo po more or less from when to when siya? After yung sa 44, di ba? So, 2014 to 2015.
I think it's about December 2014, Your Honor.
Okay.
Nag-start siya.
In 2014, during the Aquino administration, there were 13,105 extrajudicial killings or 1,092 per month. Kinasuhan ho ba si General Espina ng command responsibility dahil hindi na-solve ang mga extrajudicial killings?
As far as I know, Your Honor,
Wala.
wala, Your Honor.
In fact, naka-retire siya, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, kasi pagka ang police may kaso at hindi pa nasosolve, yung retirement benefits niya naiipit din po, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
So before that was General Purisima. Alam kong meron po siyang ibang kaso. But as so far as extrajudicial killings, because in 2013, there were 16,160 extrajudicial killings in the Philippines, an average of 1,346. So the international community is now saying, wala pang 3 buwan, President Duterte, we are not yet 3 months, 3,000 ang patay. But the average in 2013 was 1,300. So during, per month. So during the time of President Aquino, in 3 months, 3,900 ang extrajudicial killings. So, again, was General Purisima charged for command responsibility for not solving the cases?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So what is the difference between President Aquino and President Duterte? Bakit? Why is one being charged with so many extrajudicial killings and the other is not when the numbers are very similar? Can you venture an answer, sir?
I cannot understand, Your Honor, why.
Okay. Maybe because of his mouth? Maybe because President Duterte, with all due respect, is more verbose. Ibig sabihin po, kasi si President Duterte sinasabi, pag lumaban, patayin. And that is not the way President Aquino speaks. By the way, I'm not saying that President Aquino did not do all he can to fight crime. This is not about him. This is not a judgment on his administration. What I'm saying is apples to apples, ikumpara natin. The only difference that what is happening now is that the law enforcers are doing their job better because of the backing of the palace. Am I correct or am I mistaken?
You are correct, Your Honor.
So, am I correct to say, Chief PNP, if the President did not guarantee your safety, did not guarantee your lawyers kung kasuhan kayo, if the President said, if the President is not telling you lumabang kayo pabalik, all of these arrests and pushers and these apprehensions won't be happening now.
Most likely, Your Honor, because the PNP will not be motivated to do our job if we don't have the backing of the Chief Executive.
Yung pong ilan libo na patay because of operations, and I'm not saying na walang abuse doon, and I expect you to investigate each and every death. But kung hindi sila lumaban, patay buhay.
Buhay, Your Honor.
Have you arrested drug suspects, whether it's by bust or any other operation, and they are alive?
Yes, Your Honor.
So it is not true that you will find a way to make them fight and kill them.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, that's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you.